Okay. So it should be working now. So I will just get one of the to-do items, and I want to show you there are different ways to actually do the same thing, but I just want to show you the most basic way that you can easily relate with. So let me get rid of all of these things. So inside of our render to do item, what we are going to do is we are just going to do const to do element, and I'll put it inside of a backtick like this, the backtick sign, like that. So I'll put it inside backticks like this. So what we'll do is we'll do so we already have to do, so we are doing for each. Anybody remembers this? So so want to have want to select these to do items element. So we'll bring that outside here and say const to do items, which is the div that contains all the to dos. We'll do document dot query selector, and then we'll do to do items. So these are to do items. So we are going to say to do items dot inner HTML will be equal to sorry. So here's what we are going to do, but just to come down here. So we are going to say are you guys still with me?
Yes, sir. Though the network is breaking small.
Yeah, I'm thinking so as well. You know the network will be breaking. So I think this is one of those times where you have to turn on your video so I can be sure if you guys are still on the call with me or not. Hello. Okay. Well, everyone can hear me at this point. Please confirm if you can.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we are going to be doing is actually very simple. So we'll just try to. I'll do the very, very simple method at first. Then eventually we'll go on to do maybe a little bit more advanced one. Then. Hello.
Sir, your line is breaking again. I don't know if you can hear me.
Breaking seriously, right? Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Your line is breaking, so I don't know if you are talking.
Okay, but can you hear me now?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
So you can see now that we have been able to render the to-do items inside of this. So what we are doing here is, remember this.
So your screen.
Hello?
We can't see your screen. Or let me see. I can't see your screen.
Wow. Can everybody see it? Anyone else not seeing my screen?
I can see your screen, sir.
Okay, I think
Ah,
need to.
Jesus.
I knew that the network was going to be a problem right from before I started the class. I just need to, like, you know, those days when even before they start. So remember this render to do function from yesterday, right? Does anybody remember? That all we did yesterday, and before I just start putting all of these stuff today, all we did yesterday was to, do for each to do. So we have a to do's array. Remember that with an ID, a task, and completed. I wished you guys watched the video, but seems like most of you didn't. So we have a to-dos array that has, each item having 3 properties, right? The ID, the task, and completed state, which we use to check whether it is completed or not. Can you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we want to do now is we want to map through the to-dos array for each to-do. We want to map through the to-do. You can still see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Did you exit and join again? So we have this for each to do. Can you see it now? Hello?
No,
Wow.
I can't.
Okay, let me stop and start again.
No. Don't worry. Let me check my network. Check my network. Let me see. Okay, yes, I can see it now.
Okay. So remember this function from yesterday where I told you that we could do a console.log.
I can see it now.
So we could render each to do like this with this function, because this function is mapping through this array, and this array has how many elements? 4 elements, right? So what we want to do now is we want to target this div that initially housed all of the to-do items. Now I removed all of the to-do items from inside of here, so there's none anymore, right? Hello. So what I want to do, instead of doing a console.log of the for each to do, I want to target this to do items element, which is this div, right? This particular div. So I'm targeting it here using query selector, selecting that class. Can you guys see that? So on every HTML element, especially for tags that are not self-closing tags, we normally have an inner HTML attribute or inner HTML property, right? Rather, and that inner HTML is going to be what you have in between the opening and closing HTML tag. Does that make sense? And most times it's a string. So what we could do is we could take each to do item, while we are mapping through it, we could add to the, because at the moment the inner HTML of this element is an empty string. It is empty, there's nothing in it. So what we could do is, and just to clear your doubts, please, I want feedback at this point in time, guys, so that because of the network I need to be sure that we are on the same page at every point in time. So we have this div. Can you see that is that div, the to do items div, right? Hello. So I would assume that nobody is hearing me at this point in time. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
If it won't work tonight, maybe we should just keep, because I have to be sure that you guys are hearing me all the way. So we have each to do here. Do you all understand what this for each loop does? Okay, I'll assume that's a yes. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Is everybody here? Hello? Hello? Like, see, if everyone can't hear me, maybe we should just cancel and meet some other time. Hello?
I can hear you now. I don't know for others, but just that it is breaking. Sometimes I will just won't hear you talk again, and sometimes the voice will come back.
Exactly, that's how the experience is over here too.
So that means maybe we should just leave tonight and then some other time we continue.
MTN, is it Globe we are going to swear for now?
Yeah, I'm using MTN too.
So, but
Even I connected my phone also, it's still the same
do you
thing.
understand what I did here? Hello?
Yeah, I'm seeing your screen now, sir.
Do you understand what I did here?
Okay, like do you want to? So if the task has been completed, it should strike through.
I should add this class.
And
Otherwise, it shouldn't add any class.
then if you click on the button to delete, the delete button,
We are passing in the ID as an argument. Because we have access to all of those things using this for each loop.
so can we use the if keyword here?
How?
Like if to do is okay. This different thing that is coming to my head. Because what I was saying is that if maybe task, maybe we name that first one, that ID of one, that if ID one is completed, delete or something. I don't know.
And we could do all of that, but at the moment, we don't have the. What we are just doing is we are just looping over it, and we are not really checking. Like we are not checking anything yet. We just want to display everything on the screen first of all, and that's what we are doing.
Okay.
So we use this HTML code you wrote before. Basically, this is the HTML you had before, but we brought the
Yeah.
code into our JavaScript so that we can be able to pass dynamic values into it like this. Do you get?
Okay.
Because in our
Yeah.
HTML there's no way we could have access to all of those, but you can see that this div is empty here, but we are using the inner HTML property of the div. We are using string interpolation here to add this each to do element that we are creating. We are adding it, joining it to the inner HTML of to do items, which is this class. You get it? So for every round it will add a new element like this. It will add a new to do item element for every time the loop runs, and it will add it with the updated value of the current to do item being looped over. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does it make sense for everyone? Hello. Now that's the problem. Can anyone else hear me? Hello. I don't even think so. So guys, can we just cancel, please? I'll see you guys on Friday. Because obviously it seems like 90% of the class can't hear me at every point in time.
Okay, so sir, is this small part we did? Is it on YouTube?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, should be.
Uh, okay.